In the top stories, a murder accused is remanded to prison. Police seize a number of weapons and drugs at a party spot, and West Indies prepare for the 2015 World Cup. Welcome to Nation News for Monday, August 25th, 2014. I'm Natasha Beckles.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. Your time, your way.
24-year-old Shamar Antonio Lynch was remanded to Dawes Prison when he appeared in court today, charged with the August 10th murder of Romario Yard, who reportedly died from a gunshot wound to the chest. The Walk Springs St. Thomas resident, who was on bail for a similar offense, also faced charges of affray and endangering life in relation to the shooting of Shamar James on December 18th last year. James was shot in 6 Road St. Philip, but was able to flee and transport himself to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital where he was treated. A number of people have been detained for questioning by police following an early morning raid at the party stand, which resulted in the seizure of guns, drugs, and other items. Police Public Relations Officer Inspector David Welch said 5 handguns, several scissors, and a large quantity of illegal drugs were confiscated along with camouflage clothing and a ski mask. A number of juveniles were also detained at the Harbour Road St. Michael venue, where police say the final in a series of crop-over fetes was being held. An American Airlines flight to Barbados was forced to turn around and complete an emergency landing back at the Miami International Airport this morning. AA-1089 had left the Miami airport just after 10 a.m. and developed problems about 80 minutes into the flight. It completed an emergency landing in Miami where fire trucks and emergency personnel were on hand if needed. However, the aircraft landed without any injury to passengers or crew. A local bus manufacturing company says it can create jobs, save foreign exchange, and create a vehicle better suited to the island's roads if it is awarded a contract by the Transport Board. Managing Director of L&N Workshop Norman Edwards says the company has already manufactured 10 buses using a prototype of the Isuzu model, and 7 have been sold privately. However, he wants a contract to build some of the 110 buses needed to supplement the current fleet. He told the nation a contract for just 40 small buses would require about 100 workers, immediately doubling the number of people the business employs. He urged government to buy local.
If they're sick, they need to do it, right? And that's to buy Beijing, right? Yeah. Because there's no other Caribbean country, right? There's no other Caribbean country that does what we does here in Barbados when it comes to building buses, right? Right? We built a very, very good product here in Barbados.
The University of Independence Square is taking up the fight of the University of the West Indies students who cannot afford tuition fees. Coordinators David Commissiong and David Denny say the organization will make a case for anyone who still cannot afford to pay tuition, even with payment options being offered by the university and the Ministry of Education. If the organization fails to sway UWI and the government, the next step is to appeal to Barbadians to donate funds to help meet the cost of the affected students. The plan was disclosed during a press conference at the Clement Plain Center this morning. The economy may be performing poorly, but many Barbadians still want to own a piece of the rock. This was clear on Saturday when many braved the drizzles to tour one of the island's newest housing developments, the Tropical Dew in Maycock, St. Lucie. Mostly women turned out to view the 2- and 3-bedroom houses. Crop-over came to an end only earlier this month, but stakeholder discussions will soon begin concerning next year's festival, especially Grand Kadooment. National Cultural Foundation Chief Executive Officer Cranston Brown said the aim was to preserve costuming and make the event relevant to a younger audience. He made the comments over the weekend during the 2014 Crop-Over Prize-giving ceremony at the Earl Barrow Center for Creative Imagination. Minister of Culture Stephen Lashley said this year's festival was a success.
I don't believe that there's any festival any part of the world where we have 38 events spanning a 6-week period of intensive activity. From all reports, Crop-Over 2014 was indeed the sweetest Crop-Over festival. It was more than a carnival.
Another Barbadian has turned 100 years old. She is Ernesta Rowett of Vault Road, St. Thomas, who celebrated on Saturday with family and friends from as far away as England and the United States. Miss Rowett had 7 children, and daughter Hilda Eastman said she was a hard-working woman who worked in different fields before becoming a hawker. In sport, West Indies will be going for a series sweep against Bangladesh in today's third and final one-day international at Warner Park, St. Kitts. But Captain Dwayne Bravo says it's more important to get as much preparation as possible as they look ahead to the World Cup next year.
We're building towards the World Cup in 2015, and we're just trying to play as much cricket together as a group and win as much game as possible. So we want to finish the series, yes. We want to win the third game as well. But you know, for looking to say it's for revenge or anything like that, no, it's not. It's nothing about that. It's just about we want to be the best one-day team as possible as we can be, as you know, keep encouraging the guys to achieve greatness and just look forward to the last game.
Barbados have qualified for next year's Netball World Cup in Australia, regardless of the outcome of today's match against Trinidad and Tobago to decide who tops the group at the regional qualifiers. Both teams have qualified after playing unbeaten through the first 5 rounds at the America's Federation of Netball Association Championships in Alberta, Canada. After beating Argentina and the United States, Barbados had big wins over Cayman Islands, Grenada, and Canada. For full details, visit our website, nationnews.com. And finally, a British man was fined after he lied to his girlfriend, saying he'd been kidnapped over an outstanding debt. He simply wanted to stay out partying, but the woman took him seriously and called the police, who originally arrested his friend. However, they later found the 32-year-old after checking closed-circuit camera footage near to his home. Police called it one of the most foolish and irresponsible incidents they had ever encountered. And that's Nation News for Monday. You can get it on our website, nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.